Studio microphone. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're exploring one of the deepest and most powerful books ever written about people, The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. In this book, Greene helps us understand the hidden forces that drive human behavior, why people act the way they do, what truly motivates them, and how we can better understand ourselves and others. He reveals that behind every action, emotion, and decision, there are ancient instincts and emotions at work, things we often ignore or misunderstand. By learning these laws, you gain something priceless: clarity, the power to see people as they really are, not as you wish them to be. Stay with me till the end, because this summary will help you understand others more deeply, protect yourself from manipulation, and grow stronger in every part of your life. Let's begin. Part 1: The Law of Irrationality. Greene begins by saying, humans are not logical, we are emotional. We like to think we make decisions with reason, but most of our choices are driven by feelings: fear, anger, envy, pride, and desire. He calls this the law of irrationality. We are emotional first, rational second. When emotions rise, reason falls. That's why we argue, overreact, or make choices we later regret. So, what can we do? Greene says the first step to power is self-awareness. You can't control emotions if you don't recognize them. He suggests you become a detached observer of yourself. When you feel angry or jealous, step back and watch it instead of acting on it. Example: when Abraham Lincoln was angry, he would write a letter expressing all his feelings, but he never sent it. He waited until his emotions cooled. That's how he avoided impulsive decisions. Hand pointing, right with back of hand showing lesson: don't be ruled by emotion. The person who stays calm while others lose control will always have the advantage. Part 2: The Law of Narcissism. Greene says we are all born narcissists. We see the world from our point of view. But mature people learn to empathize, to see life through other people's eyes. This is the law of narcissism. Everyone craves attention, validation, and recognition. When people don't get it, they become defensive or even toxic. To succeed socially, you must become what Greene calls a healthy narcissist. That means you keep confidence and self-love, but also learn empathy, the ability to read emotions and understand others. Example: Queen Elizabeth I used empathy as a tool of power. She studied people's moods, spoke to them in ways that made them feel valued, and kept loyalty through emotional intelligence. Hand pointing, right with back of hand showing lesson. Instead of demanding attention, give it. Listen more. Understand people's needs and egos. When people feel seen and respected, they naturally trust and follow you. Part 3: The Law of Role-Playing. We all wear masks. At work, with friends, in public, we play roles to fit in or protect ourselves. Greene calls this the law of role-playing. Everyone hides parts of their true self. The key to influence is learning to see through these masks. Watch how people act when they're under pressure, when they're angry, or when they think no one's watching. That's when their true character appears. At the same time, Greene says you must master your own mask. You don't need to be fake, but you should learn to present yourself strategically. Appear calm, confident, and in control, even when you're not. Example: Franklin D. Roosevelt was known for his calm smile, even during crises. He used his image to give people hope and stability during the Great Depression. Hand pointing, right with back of hand showing lesson. Observe others' masks, but wear yours wisely. Power belongs to those who can control their appearance and read the hidden emotions of others. Part 4: The Law of Compulsive Behavior. Greene says people's actions are not random, they repeat the same emotional patterns over and over again. This is the law of compulsive behavior. Everyone has a pattern, a script written by childhood experiences, habits, and fears. Some people always play the victim. Some chase power. Some avoid responsibility. If you pay attention, you can predict how people will act in the future, because they'll repeat their past. Example: Richard Nixon had a pattern of paranoia and distrust. Even when he became president, those same traits led him to scandal and downfall. Hand pointing, right with back of hand showing lesson. Don't just listen to what people say, watch what they do repeatedly. Their patterns tell you who they are. And reflect on your own, so you can break unhealthy cycles in your life. Part 5: The Law of Covetousness. People rarely want things for logical reasons. They want what others desire. Greene calls this the law of covetousness. Desire is contagious. When we see others want something, a job, a product, or even a person, our mind assumes it must be valuable. Marketers, influencers, and politicians use this law every day. They don't sell things directly, they make you see others wanting it, and your mind does the rest. To use this law wisely, Greene says, create mystery and scarcity around what you offer. When something feels hard to get, people desire it more. Example: Steve Jobs mastered this. Apple didn't just sell technology, it sold status, exclusivity, and emotion. That's why people lined up for products they didn't even need. Hand pointing right with back of hand showing lesson. Don't chase what everyone else wants. Understand your own values and use this law to inspire desire in others, not be trapped by it. Part 6: The Law of Short-Sightedness. Most people react to the moment. They chase quick wins, instant rewards, or short-term comfort, and pay the price later. This is the law of short-sightedness. Greene says powerful people always think long-term. They don't get lost in emotion or trends. They plan ahead and act with patience. Example: Martin Luther King Jr. understood timing and strategy. He knew that lasting change required discipline and long-term thinking, not anger or reaction. In contrast, leaders who act out of impulse, even when right, often destroy their own cause. Hand pointing right with back of hand showing lesson. Step back and look at the bigger picture. Before reacting, ask, what are the long-term effects of this action? Mastery of life comes from patience and vision. Part 7: The Law of Defensiveness. Greene explains that most people are naturally defensive. They hate feeling criticized or judged. If you confront them directly, they'll resist, even if you're right. This is the law of defensiveness. So instead of attacking people's beliefs, influence them indirectly. Make your ideas seem like their idea. Use kindness, questions, and patience to guide them toward your point of view. Example: Abraham Lincoln rarely gave orders. He asked questions, told stories, and made others feel smart, and they followed him willingly. Hand pointing right with back of hand showing lesson. If you want to change minds, don't fight egos. Guide people gently. Influence works best when it feels natural. Part 8: The Law of Self-Sabotage. Greene says the biggest enemy is not outside, it's inside us. Our fears, insecurities, and doubts create invisible limits. This is the law of self-sabotage. People often blame bad luck, but most failures come from emotional mistakes. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, lack of discipline, or overconfidence. The solution is to master yourself first. Learn your weaknesses, control your impulses, and face fear directly. Example: Amelia Earhart, the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic, faced danger and criticism constantly. But she said, "Courage is the price that life exacts for granting peace." She mastered fear instead of being ruled by it. Hand pointing right with back of hand showing lesson. Control your emotions or they'll control you. The more you understand yourself, the less others can manipulate or defeat you. Part 9: The Law of Repression and Human Nature. Greene says society teaches us to hide our dark emotions: envy, aggression, greed, lust. But repressing them doesn't make them disappear. It only makes them stronger, and they come out in hidden ways. This is the law of repression. The key is to acknowledge your darker side. Understand that every human has both light and shadow. When you accept your dark impulses, you can channel them into creativity, strength, and awareness, instead of denial. Example: Leonardo da Vinci didn't deny his darker emotions. He transformed them into art, invention, and deep observation of human nature. Hand pointing right with back of hand showing lesson. Don't pretend to be perfect. Embrace all parts of yourself, that's where real power begins. Part 10: The Law of Purpose. At the end of the book, Greene says that to rise above our nature, we must find a higher purpose. Most people drift through life, reacting to events, controlled by emotion and desire. Masters of human nature rise above that. They live with clarity, direction, and purpose. Your purpose gives you focus and strength when things get hard. It keeps you from being pulled by emotions or other people's opinions. Greene says when you connect deeply to your life's purpose, you become fearless. Hand pointing right with back of hand showing lesson. Understand human nature, but rise above it through purpose. That's how you become a true master of yourself and the world around you. So, what's the final message of this book? Humans are emotional, irrational, and complex, but that's not weakness. It's our reality. When you understand these laws, you stop being confused by people's behavior. You stop taking things personally. You learn to stay calm, see clearly, and act with power. Studio Microphone, thank you for watching. If this summary helped you, please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who wants to understand life and people better. And remember, the first step to mastering others is mastering yourself. Studio Microphone, see you in the next video.